you go, that's a 7000. That's kind of like a 706, but it's got a color display.
That microphone was nice.
Actually, you can disconnect the microphone and use it as an HT. I quote Monty Python, pull the other one.
That's the next product.
Now this is probably one of the niftiest radios you'll ever find in a small package. An expert on this, Tom over here, has one of these and has had it for years, and every other lunch he kind of says, you know, something about the 857D, but it's great, but there's hardly any knobs on there, but you should see the book on this thing. It's a telephone book. You know, it's incredible. But once you learn that, then you're okay. Then we come to the future. And the present too, because there are people that use this. Roy is a Flex 3000 user. There's Eddie back there, he's a 5000 user. Also a 3000, that's the 3000. The software-defined radio is this pizza box right here. And this computer here. They go together on a software-defined radio. Instead of having a hard front panel, software-defined radios have a soft front panel, virtual. But the software-defined radio does a whole lot more. It leaves the RF in that box and brings out signals and does all the processing, the filtering, the noise reduction, and everything in the computer itself. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But I mean, you just look, everything you want to do with that radio is right on that screen, and it's mouse controlled, and if you're familiar with computers and like the mouse, you like the trackballs or whatever, this is the radio for you. So the FDRs, they have separate RF stages, like I said, they're in the box, and what happens is that they sample the incoming frequencies, or RF. They sample it at 0 degrees and 90 degrees, have an I and Q signal that is at audio frequencies. It's a wave file, if you're familiar with full resolution audio wave files on computers. It's a wave file. You can actually take the raw wave file and put it into Winamp or iTunes, and you can play it. It doesn't sound very good, but it sounds like muffled sideband, like a but you can hear it's very low amplitude. But you put it through the SDR software, and it's boom, it's a radio. So the PC performs all the digital signal processing, filtering, demodulation, all that stuff, all the display functions, how it's displayed, all the button interactions, the events that when you hit a button, an event happens and it puts the radio in. Plus the radio also controls the oscillator in the RF section to, when you turn your mouse button and the frequency goes up, it tells that box to tune to that frequency. But it's really cool. You can add in oscilloscopes, spectrum analyzers, audio analyzers, all types of neat stuff. And it's all software. But we'll get it. This is wow, this turned out, looks much better than it did on the screen. That's great. This is a Flex 3000 architecture. This line here, that's everything outside of that blue box. This is in the blue box. You can see that here the antenna connector, and the purple trail is the receiver. And obviously it wants to limit its bandpass, it wants to have attenuators, the things you have on a typical shortwave receiver. Then you bring to this quadrature sampling demodulator, and that gets your I and your Q signal. If you want to learn about software-defined radios and how it works and so forth, Gerald Youngblood, who is the head of Flex Radio, wrote 4 articles about 8 or 10 years ago in QEX, but they're online, and you can download them. They're PDF files. And I've got all 4, but about halfway through the second one, it starts to just go really blurry.